Good afternoon and welcome to our exclusive one-on-one interview with the newest member of the Cleveland Browns, Jared Verse. And Jared, before we get started, I want to remind all of our great season ticket members and thank them for their loyalty here with the Browns. But if you're in that Zoom, turn your camera on and you'll see yourself on those screens behind us there. And also want to thank all of our great loyal fans who are tuning in as well. Jared, let's just start with the human aspect of this. This has got to be a whirlwind for you. You wake up one day and Sean McVay says, "Hey, I want to see you." And you probably thought, who knows what this is about? Not this. How did you digest all of that? And, kind of how did it hit you? And as you look back now with the benefit of almost, 9 days later, how are you feeling about everything?
Yeah, I mean, in the moment, I was really messed up about it. You spend so much time with these guys. Our football team, you naturally make brothers. They're not friends. They're not acquaintances. Those are your brothers. Those are people you genuinely care about. So to leave Fisk behind, Byron Young behind, Kobe Turner, and then all my guys on offense, Puka, Stafford, Devontae, like the guys I genuinely, truly love and love to be around. It hurt a lot. It stung a lot. And then, you don't get the luxury to be upset about the feelings. I got to get on that plane. I got to come out here. I got to meet my new teammates, get to know everybody. But I sat down with myself for a while and I was like, I can't be mad at myself or at God because I asked for flowers and he gave me rain. I was like, it's going to be a good time. I'm ready to turn this around.
I like that. Now, Sean McVay said something that I thought was really interesting. Speaks a lot about your character. We've heard a lot about your character here. That you handled that news in a way that he hopes his son would handle some news that maybe he wasn't prepared to hear, and that he said you wanted to address the team. Not getting into what you said, but why was that important to you, and what was kind of maybe just the tone of the message that you left your brothers with?
Yeah, I mean, I like to consider myself a leader of a team. I like to think that I help elevate not only myself but my teammates in the way that I work, and the way that I show out on the field, and the way that I try to produce in practices, most importantly. And when he gave me that news, my mindset wasn't, oh my God, I gotta leave, I gotta all this stuff, I gotta pack up my house, I gotta go across the country. My mindset was, I gotta leave my teammates, I gotta leave my brothers behind, and I don't want to leave my brothers. So if I'm going to, I want to address them. I want them to find out from ESPN or from this news site, that news site. I want them to hear from me. We went to the team room. Coach, Sean, he released it. He told everybody, that we're trading Jared. And I got to tell everybody, say, hey, I don't, it sucks. I'm not going to be here. I love you guys to death. You guys are going to go out there. You guys are going to dominate. You guys are going to do everything you can do. And you guys are going to play the best you can. You guys got 17 games for sure. Who knows what's going to happen after that, but just go dominate. And I told them the most important thing, make sure I'm not going to cuss, but the words I used, make sure you beat the Seahawks. That's all I cared about.
I like that. So one of the things I was talking with your defensive line mate, Alex Wright, yesterday, and he said how impressive it was to him, and it kind of got everybody's attention that you get this news on a Monday, you get on a plane on Tuesday, you were out at OTAs on Wednesday with your teammates going through drills. Why was that so important to you to get out there? And then could you kind of feel that love from your teammates? Like, okay, it would have been easy to be like, oh, it's OTAs, I'll see you guys at minicamp. And you're like, no, I want to get here and get to work right away. I thought that said a lot.
Yeah, 100%. I got to get in the playbook. I'm behind everybody. When I get, when I got traded, I'm behind everybody. I don't know the playbook no more. This is a whole different scheme. It's a very amazing scheme. I actually love it. But it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different vibe. I have to come and understand, where's my place? How can I do this? How can I do that? Because I can't just come in screaming and not knowing the playbook and do all the other stuff. So it was just work. I mean, right, Alex, he's a dog. He just works. That's all he does. The whole D-line, the whole offense, they just work. And that's exactly what I'm about.
You are, and you said your style is violent, and anybody who's had the pleasure of watching your tapes, obviously Defensive Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. We now have the back-to-back Defensive Rookie of the Years on defense. I'm sure you and Carson talked about that, but you play with that violence. I saw somebody describe you as a soul snatcher, and I actually like that because some of those, man, you are just going through guys, and you said, you get angry when you think people can block you. I love that mentality. So talk about kind of your play style and that mentality that you like to bring to the field that I think is going to fit right at home here with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, my mentality is I got to stop you. I don't want you to even think that you can get in front of me, block me, keep me away from your quarterback. If I got to go around you, I'll go around you. If I got to go underneath you, I'll go underneath you. If I got to go through you, I love to do that.
Yes,
throw you into your quarterback. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to get back there. And I like to really deteriorate their mentality because when you take away someone's mental, it doesn't matter how physically gifted you are, strong, fast, you're over with. They can't stop you if you get, beat them so many times in a row.
Well, you kind of talked about that mentality, and we were talking before about why you chose number 8 when you were there with the Rams. So let the people know what mentality inspired that decision.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I looked up all the numbers that they had. They gave me the list on the way to the draft house, and they're like, hey, what are you looking at? I'm looking, and I see Kobe. I see the 8, and I'm thinking of Kobe, the Mamba mentality. That was my dad's favorite basketball player, my older brother's favorite basketball player. That was the guy that, honestly made me work as hard as I do because I'm like, if he's working this hard and I want to be as great as he is, how can I, emulate that? And the number 8 was just right there for the choosing. I just literally had to choose 8 right off the rip.
And you got it, and you came here, and after a little back and forth, a little transaction with Dylan Gabriel, you will be 8 again here for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, 100%. I did not rip it off Gabriel's back.
Yeah.
We had a
Don't
good
believe AI.
conversation. We had a good conversation about it. We ended up finding a good number that worked for both of us, and we our financial advisors handled the rest.
All right, now you're into mini camp yesterday out there. It was very easy to notice you out there getting around, getting near the quarterback. How did it feel to kind of get out there and just play football again?
100%. Obviously in a different location, in a different helmet, in a different uniform, it feels different. But at the end of the day, it's football. Nothing's going to take away from football. I could be out in Germany playing. I'm still going to have the exact same amount of fun. So getting out there working, and you got a bunch of 3 other guys that's getting back there. It's a race to the quarterback. We got to get there just as fast, if not faster, than the dude next to us. So it was a good vibe.
So you're new to the team. Spencer Fano, the first-round pick, new to the team. You guys had some opportunity to go against each other yesterday. How was that?
It was good. It was good. He's definitely very strong. I'll give him that. When he gets his hands on you, he's gonna hold on to quick. His hands are very fast. He's very athletic. I like that. I like going up against him. We're gonna have some good battles.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Iron sharpening iron. That's what everybody always talks about. You like to see that. All right, we've got some questions from our great season ticket members that I wanted to ask you. So here we go. This one from Mike Byington, who's a 26-year season ticket member. He said, quote, "I'm particularly proud of our Ohio natives that play for the Browns, and Ohio's strong football culture is well known throughout the country. How did this influence you as a youth and throughout your career to date?"
Yeah, 100%. I mean, my mom got me into football when I was really young, mainly because she didn't want me going out just doing whatever people do when they're not in sports, when they're not given the opportunities to play sports and be around a collective group of young men, and especially grown men who are going to help educate us and bring us to a further mental space. My mom got me into it, and I just fell in love from that day. And honestly, I don't even want to say like it's the same everywhere. Like, Florida, everybody knows about Florida football, California football, Ohio football is where it's at.
Absolutely. What's the thing that you said you love football so much? What do you love about it so much?
I just love being a better version of myself. Like, it really elevates you, not just physically, but mentally. You go up against so many challenges of injuries. You can't bring your outside problems onto the field. Relationship issues, this happens, that happens. It always has to be football. When you're here on there, everything clears out. It's like a loud noise, and then the second you step on the field, it just pauses. Everything goes silent.
Oh, man. This is going to be a lot of fun when you come out there. It's going to be quite loud, by the way, at Huntington Bank Field when you come out for the first time. All right. Aaron Mall, 2-year season ticket member, says, what's a failure that ended up helping your career?
Honestly, I think I wouldn't even call it a failure, but coming out of college or high school, I didn't get a lot of offers. I only had one offer. And I go to Albany, and there's not a lot of players that make it to the NFL at Albany. It's just not something that happens. It's a small FCS school. We weren't very successful when I was there, and everything like that. And that was probably what drove me the most. I see how other people were reacting, doing this, doing that, partying, doing whatever college kids do, which is 100%. Go enjoy college. But I had a different mindset. I wanted to be where my feet are today. To do that, I had to put in so much more work. So during COVID, all I did was work. Like, I went into COVID 200 pounds. I left 250. Just off working out with my dad nonstop. Like, it was just work out, train, eat, get bigger and faster, stronger.
And you are quite fast, by the way. That is, I'm excited to watch as your get off. So that's interesting. You think about it, you're the 2024 Defensive Rookie of the Year in the National Football League. You had started, as you said, at Albany, not a lot of offers, things coming out. I don't know if you've talked about this, but Carson, who was last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year, only really played 1 year at UCLA, was a 0-star, walk-on. And to think about two people that if you were to think, coming out of high school, would they have been the Defensive Rookie of the Year? You say no, and yet both of you went out there and worked to do it, and now are, ascending and thriving here in the National Football League.
I always tell everybody, hey, hungry dogs run faster. The hungrier you are, you're going to get it. You got to really work for it, though.
I love it. All right, let's talk about this one. This is from Al Jarrell. He says, the best athletes in all sports are dedicated to rigorous off-season workouts. Clearly, you are that. We already got there. What do you do in the off-season to raise your game each year? Yeah, what's your program?
So I actually got this from a coach at, not Albany, at Florida State when I left. Okay. He told me after my first season, after I won Defensive Rookie of the Year, he said, you just had this amazing season. Enjoy like a week off. After that week, go back, watch all your film. Not just the good plays. Don't celebrate yourself. Watch every bad play you've ever had. I did the same thing this season. I watched every bad play I had, everything I failed, when I didn't pursue the ball, when I didn't win on a pass rush, when I got blocked, by a double team or a triple team, whatever it was. And he's like, understand that. You really look into it, figure out why this happened, how that happened, and do what you got to fix what you got to do about it. I'm going into this offseason. I went in, I started fixing my ankle mobility. I got my hips looser. I started doing Pilates, hot yoga. I'm doing boxing. I'm doing this to get my hands faster. I'm doing that to get my feet faster. I'm doing more cardio. I'm running more. I'm lifting more. Like I've hit a bunch of my PRs on just bench, squat, deadlift, and everything. I've gotten so much stronger and faster in this offseason that it's unfair for me not to succeed because of how much work I put in.
Just to let everybody know why we're not professional athletes and you are, the mentality and all that. But PRs, bench, you said bench, squat, deadlift. What are we talking?
My squat one, I'm not going to count my squat one. It was a little safety bar and everything like that. My bench, I was right on the cusp of hitting 500, and then I wasn't going to go. I think I could have hit it. I stopped myself a little bit because I was like, I'm not going to try to blow anything out.
Yeah.
And then my deadlift, I think I hit around, what was it, 680 for like 2 or 3.
Exactly. And there it is. That would put me into the ground. All right, this is, you're going to learn. Our fans are diehard football people. Birthplace of football, obviously in Ohio. You know this. So this is one from a 25-year season ticket member, Bud Genovese. He says you were an outside linebacker in the Rams 3-4, the odd front there. What's the main difference between that role, kind of standing up, dropping at times, and then to becoming an edge to this attack style 4-man front?
Yeah, I mean, the main difference is when you're in a 3-4, you kind of have to play your one role, because if one person's misaligned, I think it's a great defense, but if one person's misaligned, it really messes up the rest of the defense. Like, obviously, your linebackers can clean you up. That's how they, that's their job. That's how they make their money also. But it just really doesn't, coordinate well if you're going to
so more structured.
Yeah. But with the, the way we play, this attacking front, it gives us the freedom to go out there and make plays. I can jump outside of my gap, and Carson's going to come clean it up. I can spill this. If I make the sack, great. I just made the crazy play. If he rolls out and everything like that, it's okay. We got, our other tackles are coming to roll and go pick that up. Like, it gives us a lot more freedom to just go out there and dominate. And I do like that about it.
Yeah, and that's got to be exciting, and that you're always going forward. Like, on every play, I'm going forward.
I don't got to worry about, dropping in the coverage or anything like that. It's just go.
Yeah. When you first came, I think it was on your first day of OTAs, there was a drill where you were supposed to get upfield, force a running back to bounce outside, and then the D tackle comes down the line and cleans it up.
Oh, yeah.
And I was watching everybody do it, and then you go up there in the first rep, and you were so quick back there that you just got the running back. That was great. That's what people are going to see. Yeah. Jared Verse attacking, I think, is going to be pretty fun. All right, we got one more here from Valerie Ney, who is a 5-year season ticket member. She says, when you look back at your time with the Rams, what was the biggest turning point in your development, and how will that translate to what you want to prove in Cleveland this year?
I think probably my biggest turning point was probably early on in the season last year. I started getting double teamed, triple teamed a lot more. I was getting chipped. I was getting a lot of focus at.
A lot of attention.
I wasn't used to that. Like, in college, they don't really, you'll get that, but it's not really the main focus of anything like that. It's really skill oriented. In my first year, I just got to go out there and dominate, do what I do. So when I started getting these chips and, these other, attacking styles that are stopping me from getting up the field and working on my rushes, I was like, how can I fix this? What can I do? And it really made me realize I can't do this individual success thing. Sometimes it's about, just freeing up my teammates, working moves just to make sure they're free. I'm working harder, get past the tight end. Now I got the guard coming and the tackle coming. That's 2 people on me. That's a one-on-one for the other 3 guys. My teammates are always going to win one-on-ones. I'm not worried about any of that.
Yeah.
So they're going to go dominate. And I just realized, like, I have to be not happy for my teammates' success, because I'm always going to be happy for their success, but I have to be prepared to celebrate their success in a better way.
That's one of those things when you get to a certain level in this league and now all of a sudden they're game planning for you. And that's what you deal with. And there's going to be a lot of that here as well, which is going to be certainly very exciting. All right. It is clear you have got that dog mentality, the dog pound, obviously, celebrated 40 years last season. But what is one thing, and it doesn't have to be football related at all. I think we have a good sense of what you want to do on the football field and how you go about your business. But what's one thing you would want Cleveland Browns fans to think about when they go out there, they see number 8, they see Verse across the back of your back? What's one thing you'd want them to think about you as a person?
Honestly, I'll probably say the measure of success isn't the plays you make, it's how consistent you are in the things that you do. And my goal is to be as consistent as possible. My rookie year, I was very consistent. Last year, I was, here or there with all the chips and everything like that. This year is going to be way elevated. I'm going to be the best version of myself, and I'm excited for what that's going to look like to everybody else.
I think we're all very excited about it. We're very excited you're a Cleveland Brown. Jared, thanks so much for the time today, spending it here with our season ticket members and the great fans of the Cleveland Browns. We appreciate it, everybody. Keep it tuned to ClevelandBrowns.com, the Browns mobile app, for the latest on your Browns as we keep mini camp rolling here at the Cross Country Mortgage Campus in Berea.